The worth of Bitcoin has stayed dependable at around 37,000. In the non-stop video, we'll look at the justification for why we could see monster changes in Bitcoin's cost in the going with 2 or 3 hours. The improvement in Bitcoin purchasers and an approaching improvement report are the purposes behind this. At any rate, what we will see truly has all of the stores of being that way. Bitcoin got excused at $38,000 and went down. As of now, right now it is plainly illustrating areas of strength for an on the 2-hour outline. Again of late, the cost went down. We are going towards $36,000. It appears as though there is a little change in the worth. Expecting we look at any rate most essential spots, the huge degree is the Fibonacci degree. Besides, when we see how much exchanging and the improvement of costs, it appears as though there is a reaction at the lower end of the cost range. Moreover, we other than got out a couple of assets for liquidity reasons. Furthermore, it sends an impression of being that there is a perceptible reaction to the more reasonable reach while looking at exchanging volume and cost risks. This second, we are seeing a little improvement upwards. In any case, might Bitcoin at whatever point stay at this degree of help for the going with several hours? Additionally, might it whenever continue to go higher? This second, individuals are watching the market near see what others are doing that it truly has the stores of being all like that. For certain, we think things are doing consummate at this moment. In the Bitcoin diagrams, our CVD marker shows that a more crucial number of individuals are selling than purchasing. This proposes there is a great deal of selling pressure keeping watch, overlooking how Bitcoin's cost is right now higher than fairly early. On September 14th, I posted a tweet on Twitter about Bitcoin. I conveyed that there is a great deal of interest in Bitcoin on the CVD marker. Individuals are fundamentally purchasing from an overall perspective, in any case not succeeding. In any case, in this specific circumstance, we have a sign that the cost could begin to go down. Another high point is being framed on the CVD marker. Bitcoin was making a lower high, however at this point it is doing the opposite. We are seeing that the credit for Bitcoin is going up, yet the CVD pointer is showing a great frustration. This plans that expecting that this construed that Bitcoin's cost would go down. It's an essential empowering to Bitcoin's weight right now that we are seeing something else entirely, which is genuinely going to be a fair sign for the Bitcoin cost. Tragically, it's not generally so especially ordinary as you would reliably think. On September 14th, when I posted this, it was a colossal sign that the cost of Bitcoin could go down. Regardless, the cost of Bitcoin has gone up a ton of late. Expecting we take a gander at the 4-hour outline, we can see that it occurred at a particular time. Bitcoin advanced forward up. What am I trying to say? Without a doubt, it communicates an impression of being like that. We are at present seeing a ton of purchasing improvement keeping watch, which is making costs go up. In any case, we can't simply perceive this information and say Bitcoin will go up in respect. This is particularly clear considering the way that new improvement information will be passed on soon. What we can hope to see is an essential ruin from 3.7% changes into around 3.3 notwithstanding in the going with several numbers, we will figure out what the real information shows. Expecting Bitcoin moves forward with the other way, this is contemplating the way that a piece of the particular signs, particularly the arrangement stream, are looking exceptionally certain. At any rate, there's another truly key thing that I truly need to fill you in about. Imagine what's happening wherein the signs that costs will go up are off base and we will really advance forward down and progress the help locale we with having. Since, expecting that we take a gander at a 1-hour stretch of time, I really recommended that this could serious solid areas for B for A. Additionally, I recollect that we generally speaking in all can concur that this cost development looks incredibly steady. So in the event that we make a really take a look at this moment, it proposes that Bitcoin might have appeared at its Bitcoin has been continually exchanging at the 37,000 district, and in the present Bitcoin cost presumption video, we'll look at the legitimization for why enormous worth upgrades can be anticipated at the earliest open door, thinking about how not just we are seeing some crazy bullish assistance, yet what's more an absolutely new improvement report will go live. In any case, as an issue of some importance, what we will see, it truly is obviously that, after a dismissal at 38,000 USD region, for certain, Bitcoin got a vital push towards obstacle. Right now from that point forward, we are essentially outlining areas of strength for an or something along those lines, in a general sense looking on the 2-hourly time span. Of late, we got one more push towards trouble. Towards 36,000 US dollars, where it truly seems like we are right eventually seeing a little response since, in such a case that we go from our swing low back to our swing high. What is the principal Fibonacci degree? It is genuinely going to be our amazing pocket, which was conclusively at this particular region. Plus, concentrating on the whole upper cost activity with the volume, it truly seems like we are seeing a response at the worth district low. Additionally, similarly, we in this way took out unambiguous lows for liquidity purposes. In this way, we were exchanging at a nearby assistance locale or something along those lines. Besides, the persistent second we are seeing a little turn towards the conceivable increase. Obviously, the deals is Bitcoin going to have the decision to hold our area of help for the going with a few hours here? Also, really occur with its way basically higher towards the retrogressive in light of the fact that the fact of the matter is paying at present, particularly close thought concerning what others are doing keeping watch. It really is clearly that. For certain, we are seeing a couple of bullish signs happening right at this point in the Bitcoin outlines, our CVD pointer, which is evaluating assuming that the trading pressure is coming watching out, we are seeing a fundamental push towards bother, which right as of now proposes selling pressure is coming plainly in the market while Bitcoin is as of now showing a higher low or something like that. At last, on Twitter, on 14th of September, I posted an especially enrapturing tweet, which genuinely said monster upkeep on Bitcoin is right at this point occurring on the CVD pointer. Individuals are just purchasing particularly tactlessly. As it turns out, for this continuous situation here, we got a negative uniqueness. Surprising higher high was illustrating on the CVD pointer. While Bitcoin was shaping a lower high at present for this continuous situation that we are seeing right now, it is, as demonstrated by a guaranteed point of view, totally novel. We are seeing a higher credit Bitcoin, yet a shimmering clean lower low on the CVD pointer. So on the off chance that this here was a negative sign for Bitcoin was a high alert for the Bitcoin view itself as of the non-stop second that we are seeing totally excellent, which is truly going to be a bullish sign for the Bitcoin regard itself. In any occasion isn't right, tragically clear as you would suspect, taking into account the way that on 14th of September, when I posted this, without question, it was an enormous negative sign for the Bitcoin regard itself. At any rate, we have gotten a critical partner in the Bitcoin regard itself since, expecting that we go at this moment, for instance, on the 4-hour time span and see when this was truly occurring, it was really happening in general at this particular locale, Bitcoin simply occurred with commonly higher towards the inverse. So what does I truly need to say with this? Without a doubt, it is clearly that we are seeing right now the arrangement stream that is coming in the market unquestionably and bullish. Regardless, sadly, we can't just rashly perceive this particular information and say Bitcoin is correct, ultimately going to see a crazy direct towards the reasonable turn of events, particularly considering the way that in the next few hours, fresh out of the plastic new improvement report or CPI information will be uncovered, what we can see that it is truly expected will be a monstrous drop from 3.7% to around 3%. Obviously, in the oncoming numbers, we will see all that the certified information will tell us. Besides, in the event that Bitcoin is really going to occur with its way towards the inverse, on the grounds that as proposed a lot early, a piece of the technicals, particularly the referencing stream here is looking sublimely bullish and unbelievably splendid. In any case, another fundamental thing that I should accommodate you is really going to be. Imagine what's happening where this bullish signs here won't work out and we are really going to occur with our way even lower towards impediment to break our particular help regions. Since, expecting that we go for instance on the 1-hour time frame, a short period of time earlier I really given you access on that this here can be a motivation or something along those lines. Furthermore, I figure we can all concur this particular cost activity looks uncommonly, remarkably steady. So expecting we right at present determine that the top for Bitcoin is in. Obviously, later in the video, I will let you know that, obviously, guessing isn't unequivocally going to be the best choice concerning exchanging, regardless, for a really long time. Just subsequent to finishing one wave, what should our next target cost be as we start the going with one? We can utilize Fibonacci levels to sort it out by taking a gander at the high and beat spots of the wave down that we can review when the second Alnut wave completely got done with, getting through it was around here or another area, and on the off chance that it's not completed at the present time and there may be another push the substitute way. In any case, we should simply say that we finished our second Alnut wave at an expense of around $37,600. In that particular situation, we ought to focus in on our one. The 618 Fibonacci improvement level will be around $33,400. I figure this target might be monster in the event that the CPI information is truly shocking and we see a fundamental drop in Bitcoin's cost, perhaps in the going with several hours. The 618 Fibonacci improvement level at a cost of $33,400 is massive, everything considered to watch. According to my viewpoint, it's not likely that the cost will go up an astounding technique, yet we ought to in any case be organized. Tolerating the improvement report is genuinely shocking. At last, might we eventually check extra unambiguous signs out? We should examine our viewpoint will happen to the cost of Bitcoin. We can see that there is significant solid areas for fundamental for a response occurring at the gold Fibonacci degree district. At any rate, also, as I have really said in my previous records, precious moving midpoints are utilized at the top of the hour, 2-hour, 4-hour, and standard time frames that continue a second. Things are looking astoundingly certain and we are going up. Furthermore, expecting that you choose to utilize the RSI marker on the 1-hour chart for Bitcoin, you could see that it is illustrating a higher low RSIA and a lower low. Several hours sooner, there was a strange bullish dissimilarity in the oversold locale.at standard ranges. Like precision, they are something basically unclear. The Bitcoin cost is framing secret bullish divergences on fleeting time periods, with extra loathsome hindered spots and truly motivating beat spots down. Doubtlessly, as I said 2 or 3 days sooner, on the standard design we are seeing indications of costs going down, yet this ensuing we are not solid areas for seeing for any of costs going down that we genuinely got an essential dismissal when the cost went up, and there was a ton of exchanging occurring. In this manner, accordingly, I really need to say that merciful Bitcoin goes up, the urgent spot it could tolerate upping to prevention is at the surprising Fibonacci degree from the most central part for explicit the base. We fundamentally utilized the awesome Fibonacci degree on our chart. You could see that the cost will solid areas for tremendous for face at $37,400, which matches the past by and large huge cost. This is colossal for liquidity. In addition, when you measure how much exchanging the more unquestionable costs, you'll see that the worth region high is close to the gold Fibonacci degree. That is the very thing sure individuals trust. Assuming we interface our old most raised focuses with an inclining line of obstruction, it will charmingly match the control point. Obviously, I concur with them. This really surmises that expecting that Bitcoin advances forward up, we ought to focus in on a specific district where the cost could stop. This locale sorts out our past highs, a corner-to-corner level, a nature of control, a worth district high, and the great Fibonacci degree. At $37,400. When we beat this difficulty and go up, I figure the cost of Bitcoin could appear at another high above $38,000. What could it sooner or later be reasonable, taking into account all that we exchanged today? We could search for another valuable chance to sell, or perhaps to purchase. In the event that you haven't proactively purchased gold at the Fibonacci degree, I have zero faith in getting it at this point is great. We will soon see CPI information that could influence the cost of Bitcoin. At this point, I don't especially trust it's genuinely canny to purchase or save gold for quite a while beside expecting that you got it at the gold fib. If we right at this point say that we finished our most fundamental surged part wave here, and we got moreover our following part wave, obviously, what is the going with cost target? All we need to do, we go with our Fibonacci increment levels from our swing high, back to our swing low, back towards the satisfaction of our following part wave. We could analyze when this second Alnut wave truly got done, on the off chance that it was really at this particular region, or perhaps at this particular area, or perhaps on the off chance that it's not even completed as of the consistent second, and we will see one more push towards the opposite. Anyway, we should simply say that we completed our second Alnut wave all around at $37,600 USD. Considering everything, we believe it or not, truth be told, do have to focus in on our 1.618 Fibonacci increment level, which will be at around $33,400 US. So I would agree that this particular objective will change into an earnest part, gave that right now our CPI information will be exceptionally negative, and we are truly going to see a gigantic response in the Bitcoin regard itself, and we are really going to see a crucial drop, perhaps in the next few hours, expecting that is destined to be what's happening. Assuming our tremendous help areas here will with being broken, obviously, I would agree that 1.618 Fibonacci improvement level is a fundamental cost place for us to collect around at $33,400 US, yet as suggested right now, fairly according to my point of view, it isn't definitively possible that we will see a chief push towards NASA, yet as proposed somewhat early, we ought to be worked with considering how imagine what's happening where expansion report here will be outstandingly negative. At this point, we should separate extra bullish signs. We should analyze what can't make an effort not to be what's going on for the Bitcoin regard itself. We know right now that we are seeing a major response, or really an inconceivably unbelievable response, unequivocally at the gold Fibonacci degree region here. At any rate, likewise, as proposed right now in my past records, staggering moving midpoints on the 1 hourly, on the 2 hourly, on the 4 hourly time frame, even on the standard time span. At this moment looking especially bullish, we are in a climb. Moreover, expecting that you will go, for instance with the RSI marker, recognize on the 1 hour time span, Bitcoin is framing a higher low RSIA hardly out of the plastic new, lower low, and we were even at the oversight region a few hours sooner, hidden away, bullish uniqueness 0.2 hourly stretch of time, for hourly time span, the very same thing. Lower low, higher low on the Bitcoin regard itself, stowed away bullish divergences are just in a little while being framed on coterminous term time spans. Without a doubt, as at present inferred other than a few days sooner, on the standard time span, we are framing negative dissimilarity here, yet as hinted, locally talking, we are right now not unequivocally seeing any Goliath negative signs, just that we have gotten a monster dismissal towards the run-of-the-mill expansion on an incredibly high volume. Thusly, along these lines, I could really have to say that expecting Bitcoin does onlooker and as its would like towards the conceivable turn of events, our region, or truly our most fundamental area check is again going to be brilliant Fibonacci degree. From the high back to our low, applying just the gold Fibonacci degree on our graph. You can see the nearby opposition will come up absolutely at 37,400 US, changing immaculately with our past highs for liquidity purposes. Besides, likewise, correspondingly inspecting the whole upper cost development with volume, you will see we truly have our worth locale